Hello there, another episode of Boyce's Bricks and Bits, and today I am going to make, in my native tongue, in my motherland, it is called kofte, but in your tongue it may be known as kofte kebab. I believe that's what most people usually call it, kofte kebab. Anyway, this is a simple mix that I make. We've used for a long time in my family. Only using beef, nothing else. I know there's a lot of combinations. You can get in restaurants. It could be lamb and beef. It could just be lamb. But I mean, we've used this beef one for a long time, and like I said, quite simple. Some flat leaf parsley, which I'm going to chop up. Ground pepper. I like it quite coarse. Salt, sumac, or some spice. Seasoning, whatever you want to call it. I've got 500 grams of mincemeat here, a few potatoes, some onion, and an egg. So, what I'll do is, I'm not going to go through every single process, but I'm going to go off and do it, and you'll see the end result. So basically, I'm going to chop up the parsley. I'm going to peel and grate the amount of potatoes that I need. I'm going to peel and grate the onions. And then I'm pretty much going to bash it all together. The onion's probably the most painful part of this, as you've got to grate it, and just your eyes are just watering everywhere. So let's mix it up and see how we go. As far as the amounts, I've done a tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of pepper, and a tablespoon of sumac. That normally works for my mix. If you really wanted to adjust it to your taste, I would suggest mix up a batch without the seasoning. Add some seasoning, fry off the tiniest bit, or cook it however you want to do it. Taste it, and then you'll know if you need to add more or not. Me, I love doing this for barbecue. I sometimes add a bit of pepper flakes to it, but my 4-year-old's going to have this as well tonight, so I'm not going to put no pepper flakes to make it any hotter. But generally you can do what you want, but this is our basic mix on how to make our homemade kofte. I felt it actually quite important to explain a couple of processes. So I've just grated the potato. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump that potato into this sieve, and I'm going to squeeze out all the juices. Very important, because when you're frying you don't want all that juice splattering around and everything. So you want to get out as much as possible. But you leave the bowl to settle. Once that water settles for a while, the starch from the potato will firm up at the bottom, right? You pour the water away, or any fluids that are on top of it, and that starch you add to the kofte mix. Okay, so grate the potato, sieve it out, sieve out all the juices, let it settle, dump the juices and the actual solidified starch. It will soften up like pate in your hands again once you start touching it, but that just goes straight into the kofte mix. Now, when you grate the onion, you do again sieve the juices away, but you don't keep the juices from the onion. That you just want gone, and then you add the onion to the mix also. Now here we got the completed mix. Now I'm not going to cook these right now because these are actually prepared now for dinner, which is later. But like I said, you can barbecue these, you can shallow fry these, you can grill these, you can do whatever you want. And all I'm going to do really today is I'm going to roll them up. I mean, for a barbecue, I tend to like them quite flat. I like to make them sort of roundish and flattish. And I've made Juicy Lucy's with this before. And if you don't know what a Juicy Lucy is, it's two like burger patties, and in the middle of it is cheese. And then you crimp the two patties together and cook them on the barbecue or the grill. It's lovely, absolutely lovely. But for just indoors, for grilling or for shallow frying, I just roll it into sort of roughly shapes like this, and that is ready. That's pretty much ready to cook. So here's a recap of all the ingredients. I've pretty much shown you what you need to do. And there's your mixture for kofte. And like I said, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And there's an alternative. You can actually replace the potato and use breadcrumbs. And people always say how much. And I suppose if you got this much mince, do that much breadcrumbs. I prefer the potato version, and even that, initially it looks like there's a lot of potato, but once you like get all the juices out and stuff, it shrinks a lot, and same with the onion. But you know, you can pretty much add whatever you want, season it as much as you want, little as possible, as much as possible. It's your choice. I've shown you the basics, and this is a good old-fashioned homemade kofte. Enjoy and have a nice day.